The Chargers made one of the biggest trades we've seen in the last week when they traded for KHALIL Mack, a second and a sixth rounder. Got them one of the league's best players. Now, is he still in his absolute prime? Probably not. Coming off an injury, wasn't rushing to get back to that Bears team. Understandable. Production in the 7 games he did play in, very, very good. Still a great player. And Mack and Bosa, in my opinion now, probably combined for the best edge rush duo in the league. And the Chargers are starting to put it together. They're tired of missing the playoffs. Justin Herbert on the rise. Keenan Allen brought back Mike Williams. A bunch of big stuff is happening. And they go out and they trade for a superstar in KHALIL Mack. Let's go ahead and dive into this team and see if we can bring them all the way to the Super Bowl. So the team's looking pretty good, actually. The offense is kind of solidified. Now, there are some problems with it. Like Matt Filer having normal dev isn't really a big concern to me. He's 29. Like, he's never going to be great, but it's serviceable. Ode Ibushi's got to be upgraded upon. Brian Bulaga is good, but he's also 32, which means that he's not really going to retain that overall. I'll probably still try and trade him, or keep him, I should say. Jared Cook, however, it cannot be in the long-term future of the team. 34 years old. He's good, but he's going to just get worse and worse and worse. We do have to look to replace him with a younger tight end. It's probably not going to be Donald Parham. Mike Williams, we got to make sure his contract is correct because it probably won't be in game. He signed, what, 3 years, 60 mil? So I set up Mike Williams' contract in the way that I saw it on SpoTrack, which tracks average guaranteed, which you can't actually put in the game, but bonus and salary, and I've applied that to Mike Williams, so he's no longer going to be a player that we have to re-sign at the end of the year. In order to get KHALIL Mack on the starting roster, I had to start at the actual start of 2021 instead of at the Super Bowl week like I've been doing recently. So guys are going to earn some extra XP, but I will simulate now to the offseason, and we'll assess the team from there rather than see the whole thing. I know we previewed the offense, but we'll assess it from the offseason rather than what we have now, because things are going to change. Now, I will choose the 2022 draft class I've been working on, trying to make it as accurate as possible from what we know now. You know, obviously things are going to change over the next few years, but as I see it now, I have, you know, changed the order. I've changed some overalls. I've been working with some development traits. It takes a long time to do this stuff. I've tried to upload it to the file share. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's Madden 22 for you, man. The file share is an absolute disaster. But I've been trying. Still need to work on the defense and things like that. But I'm getting things to a place where I like them. So over the course of doing these realistic rebuilds with the 2022 draft class, I will be having better and better classes for 2022 every time, hopefully. So I can't have the Super Bowl be the exact same in the order. That's why some of this is super annoying. But yeah, Raiders beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. It really doesn't matter too much. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't ruin your immersion completely. Players ready to negotiate. This is going to be super important. Mike Williams, not a problem. But here's some of the guys that are big on this team that we talked about, like Jared Cook. We didn't get to the defense, but Chris Harris Jr., Linval Joseph. These guys are just not re-signable players. 33, 33, 35 years old. It's just too old. We have to look to, you know, toward the future. And even if in real life, a guy like Chris Harris or even Linval Joseph, in particular Chris Harris, is a good signing for this next year because he still can play in Madden, it just is not viable. And it makes sense. You got to have the older guys get out of the league, but you know, it's not 100% realistic because some of these guys do transcend what a typical age regression or drop off would be. I do want to bring back Kaiser White. He isn't great, but he's good enough, and he's going to be back for 4 years. And I do want to bring back Uchenna Nwosu for sure. And I think I want to move to a 4-3 where Uchenna Nwosu is still like a hybrid linebacker on the outside. So I think Mack and Bosa will move down and Nwosu will stay at outside linebacker. And then it's just, I need D tackle. So that should work out much better. We're going to have Bosa at end. We're going to have Mack at end. We're going to have Nwosu. I want to keep him. Probably play him at outside linebacker. And then we'll have Kaiser White, Kenneth Murray, but we got to rock with him. We have to. And then Drew Tranquil, I like, but yeah, at 27 years old, he's kind of the odd man out. Good player, just not really someone I want to work with long term. I prefer Kaiser White literally just because he's a year younger and slightly higher overall. So it'll be Murray and White and Nwosu at the linebacker spots. Tillery will move to the inside. He would be much, much better as a 3 tech in a 2-high system, I think, where he's not really forced to, fill lanes or clog gaps, but rather fill lanes. And he's not really a space eater, right? He's someone that's quick enough to be effective at D-tackle because he's quick. But he's not this big, strong dude like Linval Joseph. So I think he's going to be fine for us. Hopefully I explained that well enough. But I need one more D-tackle. And I think we're fine. Nasir Adderley as superstar dev. Did he get that? Or does he have that in game? I'm not sure. No, he got superstar dev in staff week. Well, I'm in. Fear Nasir. I love Nasir Adderley. You guys probably would know that if you see my draft coverage over the years, especially for that. Was he 2020 draft or was he 2019? I think it was 2019. Yeah, he was 2019. Sometimes I get the years one off. I feel like with COVID and everything, my timeline is just so bizarre. But yeah, we're rocking with Nasir Adderley. I actually think this defense is going to come together really, really nicely. But it does matter a lot that we bring back Uchenna Nwosu. And I think that's probably it. I think we can do a lot better than some of these other guys in free agency or through the draft. So we're going to extend Nwosu. He's actually very, very affordable. And he is re-signed long-term. And I think that's it. Devontae Adams is in here. Teron Armstead would be a pretty good replacement for Brian Bulaga. I just don't think it works out for this team. Casey Hayward is someone I'm very interested in bringing back to the Chargers, so we're going to do that. My first and foremost. He was really, really good with the Chargers, and I think a 2-year deal, yeah, he's going to regress a little bit, but he'll still be pretty good, at least be as good as a CB3. So it doesn't mean that corner is fine, but it's still a very, very solid option. Could bring Melvin Gordon back as a backup. Don't really want to do that. I have no D tackles on the entire roster. That's a problem. That's a problem. I'm going to offer Sebastian Joseph Day because he's good and we need D tackle so badly. So I will overpay if I have to. And then I'm also going to need special teamers. So kicker and punter will be necessities. Trey McKitty is our best tight end right now. I do like his potential for the future, but I think it goes without saying that we need to do a little bit better than that. Might have to make a tough call if Casey Hayward doesn't accept in this week and just lose out on him. But he does sign, as does Sebastian Joseph Day. The kicker and punter have not. I think it went after Will Lutz at kicker and Corey Bojorquez at punter. Yeah, tight end could do better. Our backup tight end right now is Trey Pipkins, who is a tackle. Where'd he go? Sioux Falls? I want to say Sioux Falls. Indeed, it was Sioux Falls. Defensively, I just need to change the way the team looks, and then we're going to be fine. So Mack did regress a little bit. Not exactly incredibly shocking. Even with Superstar X Factor, he's just old enough that even while winning Defensive Player and Linebacker of the Year, that he gets worse. It's frustrating, but I understand that if he, well, what if he wins Defensive Player of the Year every year, never gets worse? He'll play till he's 1,000. I get that. It's a valid point. But it should be a little bit less if you win Defensive Player of the Year. Where's Edge Thread? All right, yeah. Mack, Bosa, Day, Tillery. It's a good-looking D-line. I'm going to try and develop Jerry Tillery. He's still young enough that there's something here, but it's not looking great. And then, do I move Kaiser White over and keep Kenneth Murray at inside linebacker? Field general archetype. Yeah, Murray will stay. Tranquil will be a good backup for right now, and then Kaiser White will play right out, or left outside actually, because Uchenna Nwosu. Yeah, Uchenna Nwosu is going to be left outside, or right outside, excuse me. So that'll work. Didn't really talk about the secondary much outside of Nasir Adderley, but I do think it goes without saying that Derwin James is one of the best in the entire league. I think regardless of position, just all the different things he can do, and at such a high level, he is just an incredible player. That being said, there are some other really interesting, I don't know what to do on this. There are some really interesting players in the secondary as well, like Asante Samuel Jr. He is very good, very young, and could definitely, without question, be one of the better corners in the league, you know, if he continues to develop the way that he has the potential to. A little bit undersized, but he makes up for it with being so quick, even strong at the point of attack. So we're going to play him as our CB2 since bringing Casey Hayward back. And then we just need to upgrade guard, tight end, and I'll still consider defensive tackle. No second round pick is a little bit annoying because that's where I probably look to take a tight end, like Trey McBride or something like that. So we got Will Lutz and Corey Bojorquez. But yeah, we're going to have some interesting decisions. 5th year options. Is that Herbert? Oh, Tillery. Oh. It's got to be a no. It's got to be a no on the 5th year option. We might end up extending him anyway, but I don't want to pay him like his first round pick would allocate. We'll go to the draft. So while the Chargers pick is 17th in real life in this particular world, and again, this was just to get the Khalil Mack trade to work without having the thing that happened at the start of last free agency. It's a whole thing. Like, I can't win per usual because I do my video on Russell Wilson and the Broncos, and because auto signing was on, in order for every team to actually sign the players they need to, instead of actually screwing over the Seahawks when I made the Russell Wilson trade. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the video. But somebody's like, oh man, this ruined the entire video for me because 2 players you didn't want to go after signed short-term deals. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Please, spare me. This is what happens as a result of this. And this is significantly worse. We'll go to pick number 11, which I will emphasize is not where the Chargers actually pick. So maybe I'll trade down. There is always the potential of them trading up, though. That's the thing. Is like, oh man, maybe the Chargers could have the 11th pick. Is anyone offering a 2022 first? The Falcons are, and it's number 17, which is where the Chargers pick in real life. I'll take that. I get a 2nd round pick for doing so next year. That sounds like a good deal to me. Then we'll go back to 17 as David Ojabo is off the board, headed to Washington football team. And here we are. Tyler Linderbaum is on the board. Jermaine Johnson, Nakobe Dean. Man, a lot of players that make sense. Devontae Wyatt, Jordan Davis. We can do a lot of different things here. What is the most important thing right now? It's not tight end. It's going to be Linderbaum to play guard, or Devontae Wyatt, or Jordan Davis. I think that Jordan Davis is like the perfect pick for the Chargers in real life. So I think I got to pull the trigger on this. Let's go Jordan Davis out of Georgia. 6'6", 340. Got to lower that weight a little bit. I think he played at like 360, but trimmed up down to 340 at the combine. He's a monster of a human being. He's a mountain, and if he can stay in shape and be an every down player for the Chargers and really have high effort on all the plays that he's in, he'll be a monster. Still developing as a pass rusher, but the potential is there as we will simulate to the 3rd round. Abraham Lucas off the board. I'm looking at guard. I'm looking at tight end. Who is on the board? Sean Ryan can play guard. Tyler Smith can play guard. He might be a 1st round guy. Let's take Sean Ryan and keep him in Los Angeles for the storyline. My draft clock did not expire. I got Sean Ryan, please. So Sean Ryan's going to play right guard probably. And hopefully there's some tight end that's good that's available in the 4th round. I'd maybe consider like Jelani Woods as Troy Anderson goes to the Vikings. That feels like a match made in heaven. And let's look at tight end. Cole Turner, Kate Otten. Took Kate Otten in the last one. Still probably the best option. Am I not using the updated version of this? I'm probably not. So I gotta fix that in the future. I will take Kate Otten here. Need somebody to play tight end, and it will be him. My draft clock is not expiring. What do you mean? I'm taking the guy. I don't know. Game's broken. What's new? Kate Otten to the Chargers, and that'll do it for this draft. Draft recap has Jordan Davis being the highest rated player. No surprise. Sean Ryan will play guard. His overall might go down slightly. It'll probably still be around a 68 though, which I think is good enough to start at right guard right now, just because we don't have a lot of depth there, and he's got star better depth. He actually jumped up to a 70. Kate Otten, again, is good enough for right now. And then Jordan Davis probably is my Jerry Tillery replacement. Let's just be real about that. Tillery, trade bait. Might trade Jerry Tillery like as early as right now. So what am I trading for, though? That's the big question. It's going to be for a tight end, probably. Just saw Noah Fant go to the Seahawks in real life. I would have liked a player like Noah Fant, but now he's out of the division. It's a possibility. However, our cap room is in a position that we cannot actually make any trade until I clear a little bit of this up. So somebody's got to move, and you know, it probably will be Jerry Tillery. That actually should work out pretty well. What is this Michael Davis contract? We only have 3 corners. Oh no. Ooh, Brian Bulaga is getting really expensive to have. Bulaga's got to go. Oh man. Okay. Bulaga has to be traded. Michael Davis probably should be traded. I'm trading Brian Bulaga to the Dolphins for a 4th round pick. He had red value from every team, which doesn't mean he has no value. We got a 4th rounder for him. And the reason why I felt like I had to trade him is because he was holding down the entire rest of the team. And I think Michael Davis is kind of in that same area. Now, it is a minus 13 overall to Southern Utah's Braxton Jones here. I understand that. However, I've got a plan. And the plan probably includes getting rid of Michael Davis as well. So this got accepted. Probably should have given them more value. And maybe I will. But Jerry Tillery for Byron Murphy and Juwan Johnson. Now, Johnson is just depth at tight end, although he will start right now because we are remarkably thin at the position. I'm gonna give the Cardinals, to make that a little bit more fair, like a 2nd rounder. We have 2 2nd round picks. I will give them a 2nd rounder just to make that a little bit less crazy. Trade for a future 7, and that is accepted. So we have an upgraded corner now. We have an upgraded tight end, despite not being great. I still want to trade Michael Davis. We need depth at corner. Just like, why would I trade one? Money is the biggest thing. And if I can turn him to a decent young offensive lineman, that's what I want to do. Yellow interest is the highest that he has from anyone. But we also have to figure out a team that actually has the cap space able to take on his contract. And as far as I can tell, it's only a few teams. And the Browns aren't going to want to trade Jedrick Wills or Jack Conklin. But they might want to trade David Njoku, who does not start. So I think, and the Browns just really loaded up on offensive line in the draft. Zion Nelson, Zion Johnson, and Nicholas Petit-Frere. What are they doing? All right, making this trade, Michael Davis, a 3rd and a 4th rounder for David Njoku and Greedy Williams. Good trade for us, really good, because they are younger players on the Browns that are not actively playing. We still don't have the upgrade at right tackle. I understand, I'm working on it. But what we did do is get 4 really good corners on this team. We shed money. Defense is looking really, really good. And we finally have a big upgrade at starter at tight end. So a lot of these contracts will be expiring soon, Njoku, Williams, but We should be pretty good this year. What can I do to get a right tackle? I'll look in free agency, and then we'll look to start this season. Okay, so don't want Cornelius Lucas. Riley Reef for a year. Oh, that feels horrible. It might be my best option. We'll sign Riley Reef, regrettably. It's been an up and down season. We're 4-3, second in the AFC West. Chiefs are doing their thing. We have a breakout player challenge as well. Who's that going to be for? Kaiser White. Okay. If he can go up to star dev, that'd be really, really good for us. That is possible. We're going to have a lot of big free agents, unfortunately. Byron Murphy, we just traded for. Derwin James, Greedy Williams, Nasir Adderley. Those are the big ones. All vital pieces to our secondary. Derwin is very expensive. Nasir Adderley should be very attainable, and I think he will be. Reasonable contract for him. It's a great deal for Nasir Adderley, given his age overall and development trait. Greedy, I know we just traded for, but Byron Murphy, I would say, is a priority. And if we can get Greedy Williams, that's fine. But Murphy is the priority. Williams is just kind of good for this season. I mean, I'll offer that. He's not going to sign. Yeah. 12-5. Very good second half of the season. Although the Chiefs won the division at 13-4. It's very odd in simulation. I feel like this happens a lot, where we have an up and down first half of the season, and then inexplicably great second half. I don't know why that is. I really don't. But I'm okay with it, because the better we do, the more likely we are to call this entire thing a success. Justin Herbert, very good year, nearly 5,000 yards passing, 42 touchdowns. Both yards and touchdowns good enough for third in the league this year. Austin Eckler, very good, nearly 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns on 4.3 yards per carry. 3 1,000-yard receivers, if you include the tight end David Njoku. 18 touchdowns for Keenan Allen. Mike Williams, very, very good. David Njoku, double-digit touchdowns as well. And then defensively, Kenneth Murray, triple digits. White and Murphy as well for tackles. Tackles for loss, KHALIL Mack 15, Joey Bosa 15. And KHALIL Mack put up 22 sacks. Bosa with 19. And that was the entire pass rush on the team. And that's kind of all we needed. Just them dominating. 4 picks for Murphy and Hayward. 2 for White and James. Joey Bosa and KHALIL Mack putting up big numbers. It's what you love to see. We have the Patriots in the wild card, though. As Kenneth Murray, what do I want to do? Probably just keep field general. I know it's probably because the Patriots won their division, but man, having the wild card and we at 12-5 to their 12-7, and they get home field advantage, screwed up, man. But we beat them 26-20, and now the Browns stand in our way in the divisional. Ooh, the Browns are usually really good in simulation, and they have a particularly high overall right now as well, 87 overall. Could be a tough one. This might be where it all ends, but I'll jump into the conference championship if we make it that far, and we do not. 42-28 is your final. Browns crushed us, and we'll go on to season 2 technically. And the Browns look like they went on to win the Super Bowl as well, 33-31 over the Commanders, or Washington football team, whatever. Mahomes won MVP. Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year, not his brother Joey. Weird. And Jadeveon Clowney and the Browns win a Super Bowl. Clowney, Super Bowl MVP. All right, offseason time. I'll see the development trait upgrades as well. We might have seen a few of those. And potentially try to bring back Greedy Williams. What's the contract looking like now? It's still the same thing. So we either need to clear space or let him walk. And that's going to be a tough decision. Jay Herbo, superstar X Factor. About time, honestly. He doesn't have any superstar abilities. All right, that is fixed. Sean Ryan, of course, star dev. Riley Reef is gone. Receivers are looking good. Does Mike Williams have any superstar abilities? Or do I have to add those as well? He doesn't. I feel like it did this automatically. Man, Austin Eckler looking strange. Definitely not face scanned, but man, that head is something else. Byron Murphy's up to superstar dev now. Very nice. See, they gave him stuff. Interesting. Jordan Davis, star dev. Star's fine. Kaiser White did get up to star. Kenneth Murray needs to be the starter if he's not already. Is there anywhere I can clear up some cap space? Could save a lot by getting rid of Filer, who's going into his final year. I don't know. I think we're just going to let Greedy go. He's being, ironically, too greedy. He wants more money. We just don't have it. Jeffrey Simmons, superstar X Factor. How sick would he be at defensive tackle? We don't need him. So we signed Sebastian Joseph Day, but that would be sick. He's going to get so much money here. It's not really even an option. We don't really have any money. So here's Jack Conklin. That would be nice. Just can't sign him. Can't. No money. Scotty Miller, superstar dev. What bizarro world is this? Jack Conklin unshockingly rejects. Yeah, no kidding. So we pick near the back end of the first, 27th overall in the first round. The big thing here is we have to decide what we actually want to get. It looks like offensive line's at the very top of our list, whether it's guard or tackle or both. And then defensively, I want to say that we're fine. It's really difficult to find a true flaw in the defense. The only real one is like guys not developing enough or regressing. In the case of Uchenna Nwosu, Casey Hayward, Khalil Mack, Asante Samuel Jr. But other than that, we're in a really good spot. So I would say offensive line probably at the very top of the list for what we need to do here at 27. And it might even be trading for one, really. Antonio Moore, A, awareness, B, impact block, A, lead block. Now, I feel like offensive linemen are, particularly guards, are never good in the draft. So I'm definitely hesitant to take one unless it's a center. Like Bryson Cash is A, pass block and A, run block. He's definitely going to be really good. Where's he slated to go? 1, 2. That probably is the pick right here. Unless I were to trade up. Because he's actually kind of far down the board. 24 spots down. All right, let's take a gamble on this guard with A, awareness. Gonna be decently rated as a result, probably. Does only have normal dev. A little bit unfortunate. 89 strength is good. We don't really know anything else. But I am going to take the center as well. It's the only reason I ever would have taken Antonio Moore there is if I truly believed I'd be able to get Bryson Cash, the center. So we're going to upgrade the offensive line. And I'm going to be pretty pleased with that. Trading a second, a fourth, and a fifth for number 34 from the Colts. And that's where we're going to take this center, who is probably going to be one of the better players in the draft. That's just generally how these centers work. In the draft, they're always better than guards. And he's 6'4", 310. He's not small. He's just going to be really good. Hidden dev, love to see it. Only 84 strength. You wouldn't really expect super high strength at center. But with the A run block, A pass block, he's going to be good. And that's pretty much our draft. We traded up a lot to get him. It's going to be worth it. Big upgrades on the O-line, at least with the center. I hope the guard is going to be really good as well. I have my doubts on it. But if he's even low 70s, starter material. Let's check it out. The center might have to play tackle too, just because he's going to be better. Ooh, they're actually both 74 overall. Interesting. That's better than I expected for the guard. Bryson Cash looks legit ready to go right now. But Antonio Moore probably will be as well. 6'4", 323, 89 strength. This is my Ike Mekwonu right here at NC State. He's going to play tackle. Oh, literally NC State. Oh my! I made that comparison without even seeing the college. That's Ike Mekwonu right there. No question about it. Oh, that's actually fun. Cash, by the way, goes up to a 76 overall left guard. What does that mean? Matt Filer is gone. Matt Filer does have a little bit of interest from some of these teams. Now, the question will be, just like it was in the first season when trying to make a trade, what team can actually take on his contract at this point? And it's maybe the Bengals? Cardinals, that's the one. Matt Filer in a second gets me Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore, second round pick, so we're just trading a second, plus Matt Filer. They upgrade at guard, and we take their third receiver to be our third receiver. Yeah, does that trade happen in real life? Yeah, no. But this isn't real life. So take it for what it is. Good third receiver for our team. Offensive line is looking good. Looking good now. Defensively, I really like where we are as well. And he will instantly go into the slot. This is a really good team for the second season here. Let's see how 2023 goes. I will see you at the midseason mark. Is this the second season? No, surely not. This will be the third that we simulated. But second, actually, for like when we've kind of been taken over. 4-3, but that really isn't that concerning based off of how the second half of the simulations usually work. So I'm not really too worried about it. Like, obviously, yeah, there's definitely a chance that we don't improve and we miss the playoffs this year, which would be insane considering how talented this team is. That'd be really, 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 really annoying. But all we can do is simulate to the playoffs. However, first, we need to make sure that the core of this team stays together, and that will potentially mean extending a lot of these guys, including Justin Herbert. Yeah, that one's going to be expensive. We have the money to get it done. Justin Herbert, welcome back to the Chargers. Kenneth Murray is, I would say, the next highest priority player. So we'll bring him back, and he is back. And then with Casey Hayward and Austin Eckler, based on age for Casey Hayward and positional value for Eckler, I'm a little bit hesitant, and age even factoring in here too. I'm a little bit hesitant to give him a long-term contract, but at that price point, it's not too bad. $6 million a year. All right, Eckler is back. He's important to the team for sure. Hayward, I'm probably going to pump the brakes on that for right now. Once again, going 12-5. Although the Chiefs went 15-2. We just can't seem to be better than them. We just can't. Herbert led the league in passing yards, 5th in touchdowns with 37. Very good year. Eckler still doing what he does. Yards per carry even went up this year. Receiving, Rondale Moore led the team in receiving yards, 11 touchdowns. Allen over 1,100, 8 TDs. Mike Williams over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. David Njoku right there. Very, very good year for everybody catching the football. And then defensively, Kenneth Murray. Okay, there's some numbers here to look at. Kenneth Murray had 132 tackles, 7 for loss, 3 sacks. Tackles for loss, 20 for Khalil Mack, 13 for Bosa and Joseph Day. And then quarterback sacks, 27 for Khalil Mack. That's a new NFL record. 21.5 for Joey Bosa. This defensive line is unbelievable. Interceptions, 3 for Kenneth Murray. Alohi Gilman is playing a lot. Byron Murphy, Kaiser White, Hayward, James all had 2. Wow. So Khalil Mack is now the record holder for most sacks in a season. We're into the playoffs. And once again, we are on the road in the wild card after winning 12 games. And the Dolphins are 8-9. Made the playoffs somehow and get home field advantage in the wild card. If we lose to them, dude, it's going to be unbelievable. It will be insane. 27-12, we beat them. And now it's the Ravens. We're up to a 90 overall as a team. And that could get, it's not going to raise after Sean Ryan, but it could get even better over the course of this playoff run. Can we beat the Ravens? Lamar Jackson, very good. Is Justin Herbert and the rest of the team better? No. 27-21, we're out early in the playoffs again. Offseason time. And the Cowboys beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl by a touchdown. Trayvon Diggs is the Super Bowl MVP. Probably had a pick 6. What a beast. Zeke wins MVP. An Offensive Player of the Year. Dude, what Cowboys fan propaganda made this league year? Luke Townsend. Why does that name sound familiar? I don't know. Anyway, Khalil Mack wins Defensive Player of the Year. Love to see that. But yeah, what an interesting year. A little bit disappointing from our end, obviously. It's just the Chiefs continue to be better. 1.43 mil in salary cap space. Casey Hayward is not signable. Let's just be honest about it. Not a signable player. I don't even know if we can offer him based on the minimum. He accepted that? Casey, you're playing for like $400,000. I don't know what to tell you. I don't. That's going to be fine for a year. All right, well, we can't do anything in free agency. Obviously, we have no money. 1.58 mil it jumps up to. We can't sign anybody. Not that we need to, though. I think the team is in place. Save money by cutting Khalil Mack. Yeah, I don't think so. This is his final year here, as is with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Sebastian Joseph Day and Rashawn Slater, Asante Samuel Jr., Rondell Moore, Josh Palmer, Trey McKitty. Everybody's final year is this one. And this is probably the final year of the video. It's now or never. We need a good draft. We don't really, actually. We just need to keep the team together enough and then actually win some playoff games. Bucks have the number 1 overall pick. I'm just going to simulate to 26. If we get lucky, we get lucky. There really isn't a position you can point to that we actually need, which is a good problem to have because the team is very, very good. I feel like we've done a good job of filling needs and getting talent, especially younger players in these positions to be successful. Rondell Moore up to superstar dev. The receiving core looks great. Maybe a backup running back wouldn't be the worst idea. Kaiser White and Kenneth Murray, both up to superstar development, by the way. I think really the only thing I might want to draft is cornerback depth, which is probably not going to be good at this point in the draft, or a backup running back. That's kind of it, which is that's in a really good spot. So if there's any running back available, which I think we should probably see the best running backs in the draft still available, I might consider taking them. If there's a stud cornerback that's fallen, which there won't have been, by the way, they're going to be terrible. Every cornerback down the board is always bad and not worth drafting. It has to be one of the top 2 corners in the draft to even be viable. So Eli Moore looks like the best we've seen so far. And he's going to have horrible man. He's a terrible athlete. So do you want to draft that guy? Probably not. Frank Ogletree looks pretty good. A, ball carrier vision, juke, and trucking. He's not the fastest, but he's very strong. Change of direction's not great, but he's got a juke move. I think Ogletree is going to be the one. Thanks for the A pass blocking. He's a complete running back. This is a receiving back, pretty clearly A catching, A medium route running. Pretty fast, too. But I think Ogletree's going to be the one. He's a power back. I think he's going to be a really nice combo that we have already. Man, D. Harris looks horrible from what they showed us. But we're going to take Frank Ogletree out of USF here. Welcome to the team. Hidden dev, 88 speed, 86 strength. Change of direction's not great, but he's a power back. Agility is actually quite high. 5'10", 228, can move a little bit. It's a perfect backup running back. Here in round 3, there are a couple of guys who are round 1 to 2 players apparently still on the board. They show A impact block. That's bait. Because he looks not great. Virgil George, slot guy. I don't know. No one's going to be that good at this point. Give me Virgil George, 4th receiver. Does have hidden dev, 94 speed from ECU. It's my, who's an ECU receiver? Zay Jones. See another draft. Draft recap, what are we looking at here? An 80 overall running back in Frank Ogletree. That is a backup right there. It's pretty good. He's got good acceleration, great agility, carrying, juke. Strength is great. It's a really good player. It's a really, really good backup to have. Now, Virgil George did have star dev, but is not rated particularly well. Route running, release, not really good parts of his game. There's some decent backups in depth. Team's looking good. This is the final year. I'm really excited about the team we've built, and a lot of it was in place already. I'm very aware, but I feel like we've done a pretty good job filling in the gaps and more disconnects. What's new? I mean, we got like the best player in the entire draft I guess we did have a first round pick. It's not entirely shocking, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. A lot of the running backs are rated pretty high, usually. Yeah, this is a pretty good looking team. Wow, Eckler's still a higher rated power back. I want to put Ogletree in that spot regardless. And this team's ready to go. 4-2 at the midseason mark. Not too bad. Just go ahead and with the CPU upgrade all those guys and simulate to the playoffs. We're in a pretty good spot. Chiefs are 4-3. The Raiders are actually at the top of the division at 5-2. Raiders finally gonna ruin our entire chances here. Here we are, playoff time. Oh, we missed the playoffs. 8-9. Great. All right, I gotta do another season. This game sucks. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. Justin Herbert regressed a lot for some reason. Don't really know why that would have been. 10 touchdowns for Frank Ogletree. Yeah, I mean, regressed so much, and I don't know why. Great numbers for the defense, particularly the edge rushers. It seems like we just took a step back in every way possible. 14th offense, 7th best defense. Of course, in terms of points allowed. Strange. But it is a really competitive AFC West, so we'll try to bring back as many of these guys as we can. Keep in mind that the window's closing a bit now with some of these players getting older. KHALIL Mack, Keenan Allen. It's not going to be all that easy. Ravens beat the Bucks in the Super Bowl. Cam Jordan with the Ravens is your MVP. Lamar won MVP on the year and Offensive Player of the Year. Nick Bosa with his second Defensive Player of the Year that we've seen so far. Pretty wild. 102 mil. However, we've got a lot of players to re-sign. KHALIL Mack, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. All these guys are into their 30s now. Sebastian Joseph Day, if we want to do that. Rondale Moore, who we just traded for. Rashawn Slater. Asante Samuel Jr. So many players need big-time extensions, and a lot of them at really valuable positions. Corner, receiver, tackle, edge. I have to bring back KHALIL Mack. He is the video right now, so that has to be done. He wants to play for a new team. Won't be happening. He'll be franchise tagged. Can guarantee you that. Keenan Allen also wants to test free agency. I'm giving you more money than you're asking for. Just accept the contract. Mike Williams does. Finally, somebody wants to play ball. Rondale Moore's back. Maybe we don't even need Keenan Allen. 88 overall at 33 years old versus 89 at 25. Maybe it's not that tough of a decision after all. Rashawn Slater's back. Hayward I'm going to let go, but Asante Samuel I do want. Samuel Jr. returns. It's important to make the distinction. I just instinctively you want to say Asante Samuel because I mean, I guess I watched Asante Samuel growing up on some of those great Patriots and Eagles teams, but Asante Samuel Jr. It's wild that he's a kid playing in the league right now. It's not that wild, I guess, but it feels wild. Does that make sense? Sebastian Joseph Day going to test free agency as well. I'm actually probably not going to franchise tag KHALIL Mack. I think I can sign him for cheaper in free agency. Now, those are famous last words, but I don't think anyone's really going to be interested in him. So we're going to let Hayward and Joseph Day, of course, and Mack walk. And we will look towards free agency to fill some of these holes. Aaron Donald. That would be an upgrade over Sebastian Joseph Day. He's going to get an offer. Offers for Mack and Donald. What a defensive line this would become. With Jordan Davis, too. Are you kidding me? But what else do I need? O-line, fine. Receivers, I want to say, are somewhat fine. We can't afford Keenan Allen. Kaiser White has superstar X Factor. Interesting. Okay, I don't really have much to say about that. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Got everybody we wanted. Rock Yassin. It's my Casey Hayward replacement. KHALIL Mack. Jalen Guyton is back with the Chargers. And Aaron Donald to play defensive tackle, replacing Sebastian Joseph Day, who coincidentally was also a Ram. So a lot of things coming full circle here, somewhat. Donald changes cities, replaces his former teammate. Jalen Guyton returns to the team where he found some success early on. So what do we actually need in the draft here? Also, do we just have random star receivers? Huh. Who is Nance? Unanswered questions. I'm not sure. Star dev for cash. No surprise there. And I guess we already knew that. I mean, best player available in the draft. We pick at number 11 overall. So we're actually in quite a good position. If there's a top corner in the draft, I might try to make a move up. Doesn't look like there is. I think Michael Abraham's my guy. A pursuit. It's kind of all I have about him. He's a good athlete. Elite strength. Michael Abraham will be my pick. All right, Michael Abraham, welcome to the Chargers. He might start over Uchenna Nwosu, depending on how good he is. 84 speed. He's 6'4", 248. Dude's actually huge. Star, better dev. I'm interested to see what his overall looks like and the attributes that correspond. Andrew Wiggins. I mean, I'll probably draft him. He'll probably be a little bit disappointing, but ultimately end up being a pretty decent player. Do I want that? Yeah, I think you do. I think you take that. Let's take Andrew Wiggins here. Good athlete. Pretty big. But I think that will probably do it for the draft. I don't think we're going to take anyone that will actually get playing time other than maybe the first pick. Let's see what we're dealing with here. 76 overall. Michael Abraham is very good. Another decent receiver at the end of the draft there. Let's see how he compares to the rest of the league. Decent class. We got a really good player. He was supposed to be maybe even a round 2 guy. 85 tackle, 89 pursuit, real high. 88 acceleration, hit power is great. Block shed's a bit low. Do I start him over Uchenna Nwosu on the hope that he's got superstar dev? Maybe, just because that's fun. I don't know. We know about the team at this point. It's good. No Keenan Allen. Yeah, I'm starting Abraham over Uchenna Nwosu. Might not play a ton anyway, just because they're not the sub linebacker. So it's not going to matter a ton. But I think the team looks as good as it's going to get. We've seen some regression, but this has to be a team that is a playoff team. We missed the playoffs. What do you want me to do? I mean, this is one of the best teams in the league, and we missed the playoffs last year. It's disgusting. 4-3. Boy, does that look familiar at the midseason mark. It's only been every single year. Back in the playoffs, finally, and we won the division. 12-5. Go ahead and check out. Patrick Mahomes threw for 5,500 yards, but Justin Herbert, 5,112, 42 touchdowns to 16 picks. Rushing, Eckler, decent, although Frank Ogletree starting to make the most of his opportunities. It's getting pretty good. Receiving, Rondell Moore, about 1,700 yards, 12 touchdowns. Very, very good. David Njoku, over 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Good numbers all the way around. And then defensively, Joey Bosa this time took his turn to take over. Matt with 24 tackles for loss, 14.5 sacks. Great year. But Joey Bosa was on another planet. 22 tackles for loss, 26.5 sacks. Donald with 9. Kaiser White even had 4.5. Michael Abraham played a little bit. Star dev. No real surprise. But, like, we just weren't seeing development from Uchenna Nwosu at all. He's still a 79 overall. Has he not been a 79 the entire video? I feel like he's been a 79 the whole video. No more, no less. But here we are in the playoffs. I do want to quit franchise mode, but we'll stay in it for the time being. Can we beat the Raiders in the wild card? I might advance and jump in the divisional here. I'm just tired of losing. I'm making sure it's not happening. And if that means jumping in, so be it. We're on the road against the 13-4, 86 overall Patriots. We are +3 overall on them with a +7 defense and a +1 offense. Up 7-0, but the Patriots answer right away, making it 7-7. There's not a whole lot of action going on right now. Only 10-7 here, 13-7 in the second half. 21-7 now, but I'm sure the Patriots will make a fourth quarter comeback. No, they actually won't. That's going to be it, man. Annihilation in Foxborough, Massachusetts, as the Pats go down. Chargers 35, Patriots 7, Bengals in the AFC Conference Championship. 85 overall, 2 hour 89. Let's take them down. Home field advantage. Hope it means something. They got Cam Hayward now. Still playing, huh? It's a close game so far. 31-19 now. Chargers just keep scoring. Bengals can't keep up. It's close, though. They're fighting back. But 44-33, and that should be the dagger. I mean, they really tried to fight back. The final is 45-40, and what has to be one of the highest scoring playoff games of all time. 85 combined points. Herbert threw for 4 touchdowns. Burrow for 3. Both over 300 yards, and Herbert just 3 yards shy of 400. 2 touchdowns for the goal line beast that is Frank Ogletree. David Njoku had a big day. Jamar Chase had 3 touchdowns. Can our corners not cover it all? It looks like we got torched today. And I like how the Bengals didn't do so well when they drafted John Ross. What about Josh? Just change one of the letters for an S instead of an N and flip the spots, of course, and maybe he's a better player. Different positions, obviously. I'm just kind of BSing. But we've made it to the Super Bowl. I don't know, there's something about jumping in that I feel like increases our success versus just watching us lose in simulation. Because I haven't had to jump in for any of these. Would we have won in sim? Maybe, I don't know. It's possible. But here we are in the Super Bowl. Hopefully this upgrade will take us to a 90 overall for these guys. Although, I would doubt it. I don't think there are significant enough players in here that would take us up to the 90. But I suppose it's possible. And it looks like we're going to stay at that 89. 12-5, playing my favorite team, the New York Giants. Although here, I hope we smash them. Rondale Moore up to superstar X Factor. Defensively, I don't see any changes. Yeah, I think we just have what we have. But this is a good team. It's time to actually make something happen. Win the Super Bowl. Giants at 9-8. Limping into the Super Bowl. We've seen this before. We've seen this before. The Giants have Saquon and Najee Harris. What are we doing? What is going on with the Giants, man? I was promised change with new GM Joe Shane. 2 running backs in the first round. Gotta draw the line somewhere. Giants up early 3-0 after a Harrison Butker field goal. Chargers strike back with a Will Lutz field goal. And then Harrison Butker's kick is blocked. This game is crazy. It's field goal central, blocked field goals. Now it's 16-3 Chargers, 24-3 Chargers, and they might not be done yet. No, they are. 24-3. The Chargers are Super Bowl champions. Justin Herbert has won it all, and we have finally won it all. KHALIL Mack has won a Super Bowl. No Keenan Allen on this team, unfortunately, but Joey Bosa has won one. Malik Willis is the Giants quarterback. Man, what an interesting game. But that'll do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This was a fun one. And I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already for more of these. Browns rebuild with Amari Cooper probably coming at some point, along with Chargers rebuild, or that was this one. Seahawks rebuild without Russell Wilson. Bears rebuild without KHALIL Mack is maybe. I'm going to do some free agent predictions coming along soon, talking about some of the top free agent guys and maybe where you'll see them go. So a lot of fun stuff coming up on the channel, and of course the draft content. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
It's insane, I hit it at the park, Ben Bones. See me high step to the end zone. My life like a game, Nintendo. Playing with the best, let them know. Get off the track, the train's coming through. Yeah. Promise you get in my way, then you best believe I'ma just run over you. Yeah, yeah. Papa turn taking it back to the house. Defensive joke, I'm laughing so loud. Speedbird's good.